So here we are. It's a Sunday afternoon. I have 4 sweaty dudes in my room. Everybody have a good weekend?
Yes.
Did you guys have any gigs or anything?
No,
No.
It's like, actually, last night was one of the first like Saturday nights in a long ass time where I didn't either play a gig or go like to a show.
Do you guys have that thing where it's like if you don't have a gig or a show to go to, it's like what do I do?
Yeah, right. It's
Yeah.
like, I forget
It's
what
so-
to do with my life.
It's so fucking weird. Like, before we get into all of that stuff, I'm going to do my introduction, then I'm going to let you all introduce yourselves, and we'll talk about being rock and roll. Cool?
Yeah.
Cool. Hello and welcome to Start the Beat with Sikes. My name is Sikes, and this is my podcast. Before we get started, I just wanted to take a quick moment to thank everyone who checked out last week's episode. If you're one of the people who listened to that conversation, I hope you enjoyed it, and thanks so much for coming back, motherfucker. For those of you who are new to the show, welcome. Please feel free to make yourselves at home, and as always, there is beer and soda in the fridge, but we are all drinking purified water.
It's Sunday.
Yeah.
You know?
Too early
It's
on
day
a
of
Sunday.
rest.
The day of our Lord. The reset button, if you will. And for anyone who doesn't know who I am talking to, even after reading the episode title, why don't we round table introduce ourselves, and we will go. All right, I gotta do this all over again. We'll go from there.
Hi, I'm Nate, the lead singer of Stone Cold Killer.
Hi, Nate.
I'm Kyle, lead guitar, backing vocals.
Hi, Kyle.
I'm Curtis, also on guitars and backing vocals.
Hi, Curtis.
And I'm Pat, the drummer.
Hi, Pat.
That's all I do.
Word.
The wagon.
Yeah, aka Patty
in the
Wagon.
flesh.
The banger and the slapper, if you will.
I won't, but
So you guys play in a band called Stone Cold Killer, and you know, for lack of better terms, you're a rock and roll band.
yeah, that's the
Like
best. term there is for
no
it.
bullshit
Yeah.
rock and roll. You're a blast. If nobody has ever gotten the chance to see you guys, you're a lot of fun. And we'll start with like the origins of the band. What made you all want to do rock and roll and yada yada blah blah blah. Who wants to start?
I'll take that one.
Word.
The origins actually goes back 10 years. Kyle and I, we grew up together. We've known each other since like first grade, and we just jammed one day with a buddy of ours who had one storage unit, down at Store Express in the South Side.
Yeah.
And he had a drum kit down there, and he's like, "Hey, why don't you bring your bass down? Come jam." And so it did. Kyle, it's like, it'd be cool if there was a guitar here too. So he came down. We started jamming out, and I mean, shit, we had like 3 or 4 songs written. Like,
Pretty quick.
yeah, like just kind of
That magic.
happened. Yes, very much just like magic.
Is it still that easy?
Oh yeah.
Cool.
No.
Yeah.
I don't know. I actually haven't written a song in a while. We've been concentrating so much on the release album and gigging so much that I haven't really been doing too much writing outside of just jamming a riff here or there.
Yeah.
But I mean, we got Book 'em Dana was one of those first few songs we wrote. That's 10 years old. We just released it last year. It's the first time that we actually have a recording of it. And I just posted a live video from the Rex that we did. I just posted that to YouTube yesterday. Turned out pretty good. But I don't know. We just wanted to play rock and roll music.
So it was rock and roll from the start.
From the start, yeah.
It was a little heavier. Like originally we were a little more punk influenced, like Valiant Thor, Death by Stereo, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it kind of evolved since then into more of like just a straight up rock and roll.
Yeah,
outfit.
it's funny. There's a lot of bands that like start as one thing and end up as something completely different.
Mhm.
So it's always interesting to hear like the trajectory of those things, because like you think of a band like Code Orange when they started out as like early Code Orange kids, like
Yeah.
they were like borderline ska.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I know.
yeah, and then
Never
like then it
realized
just slowly got heavier and heavier and heavier and heavier, and now it's like, oh my god. Like, but yeah, like, I think when they were younger, just figuring it out. and it's always fun just with the evolution of bands or just like musicians in general. I'm assuming like everybody in this room was probably in another band before Stone Cold Killer.
Mhm.
Were you all in other bands before this? So like, let's say Kyle.
Yeah.
What other kind of bands were you in? Were they all like guitar, rock and roll type bands, or were you in like punk bands and shit?
I started out at punk bands, but I mean, I very guitar heavy driven, so there had to be some ripping guitar for me to have any interest.
Yeah, you don't have like an EDM background or anything that we don't know about.
No, I mean, back in the punk days, there was a little ska. I mean, I went through I went through a real big Fish phase for a while.
Oh, okay.
I'm still in my real big Fish phase.
Yeah, had a little horn fetish.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that. What about you, Curtis?
Yeah, I played in a lot of cover bands, I guess, before this, like some unique stuff. A friend of mine, like one of the first things I did here in Pittsburgh is he played a lot of mandolin, and I would play an acoustic, and we would do just covers with the two of us. And then I did some different 3 and 4 and 5 piece cover bands, and he started writing a little bit of originals
with like all kinds of different music. Then
yeah. I mean, predominantly rock and roll, but you would get stuff from the 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s. So. Back in the good old Spice Cafe days in Oakland.
I think that may be how I met you is when was it Vin Mariani?
Well, it was either the Dangerous Cousins or Vin Mariani or Les Cousins de Strangereau. Depending on what era that was.
Wow. Yeah, that's Spice Cafe.
Those are some spicy names for spicy performances at the Spice Cafe.
It was interesting, but covers are kind of unfulfilling after a little while. People are into it and it's cool, but if you're doing nothing but that, like, it's not as gratifying, I guess, as creating your own music.
Yeah, I have some friends that do a lot of the cover things and things that are related to that. It's like, make money. I'm like, cool, but like it's
not gonna lie, I have a couple.
That's make money. That's why I work every Monday through Friday. I don't care about
yeah, dude. Whatever. I'm not gonna knock anyone's hustle if they want to play their thing.
Honestly, I like playing covers. Sorry, I didn't talk over you. I like playing covers, but like you said. If you mix it in as part of your original music, throw in 2 or 3 covers per, because it gets the audiences, they perk up, like, it gets their attention after they hear 3 or 4. Yeah, they hear 3 or 4. Like, I've never heard this song. It's pretty cool, but I can't sing along to it.
Oh, yeah.
And then all of a sudden they hear Rocket Queen, like, holy shit, okay.
We played last night, and the one band, they covered a Maiden song. I can't remember which song it was off the top of my head right now. But it was so funny because like everybody was just like the whole set, people were just kind of like hanging out. Then they played that, and then just like some bar rat comes crawling over, is like dancing around, like, this is the best. Like, all right. And then after they were done, she went right back to whatever she was doing. So I don't know how much it really worked for them, but whatever. Fuck it. Iron Maiden. Pat.
Yes.
What were you banging and slapping on before this
used
band?
to be in a punk band called Drunk by Six.
Okay.
Pat Wasted.
Yeah. My moniker was Pat Wasted back then.
I love the bands that like when everybody has like the nicknames for all the members and it somehow ties in with the band. That's always fun. Black metal.
Yeah, everybody loves the nickname Pat Wasted except for girlfriends, ex-girlfriends. Oh, you were known as Pat Wasted.
So yeah, I mean, were you wasted?
Yeah.
He was drunk by 6, probably.
Yeah.
5:30.
That's a really good band name, actually.
I know, right?
That's a killer name.
Yeah, we did quite well, like stickers and shirts.
Oh yeah, that's like a very marketable name.
I almost just want to kick it back up just to sell t-shirts.
Definitely. So kind of let's evolve. Let's move this conversation into business mode, motherfuckers. Business. Talking about marketability and branding and things like that.
Yes.
Being an independent band now in the year 2018, year of our Lord, we have a really hard time. You have to juggle all of this shit, right? Like you got to be more than just a band, unfortunately. You got to be like a social media guru and like a marketing master.
Yeah.
How has Stone Cold Killer adapted to this current climate of being a independent band?
I will say that we've all kind of taken on separate roles, depending on the social media platform. We kind of split up those duties. Our bass player, who wasn't able to make it today, he normally handles a lot of our Facebook stuff, like promoting pages, promoting events, stuff like that. Nate and I normally Nate's the Twitter guy. I'm the Instagram guy. Actually, we all there's overlap for all of it.
Yeah.
You know?
Like you all have access to it, but there's like a couple people that maintain like responding to messages and creating posts and things like that. That's the same thing with Grey Walker. It's You like it? Do you enjoy Instagram, Kyle?
I mean, it can be tedious, but I mean, it's ultimately the end goal is positive. So it's a good time.
Nate, you're dealing with the. Oh no, you're not dealing with the Facebook. You're with Twitter.
I
How's
do
Twitter
but
going?
I heart like
Even like
we're very. I'm terrible at
you
Twitter.
tight with Trump on Twitter.
No. He was using the term locked and loaded a lot last summer. We're talking about the like North Korea and but I steered clear of it.
Yeah.
I was like, that's a song title, but of ours. But
how is Twitter for you? I've always had a hard time.
I suck at it. I just flat out suck at it. I don't know. Like, it tries on my wheel. I don't know how to get more followers. I don't know what, like, you have to follow a bunch of people and then they follow you back. Can you just buy them? I don't know. Like, it's just kind of a pain in the ass. So Facebook and Instagram are what we rely on mainly for promotion.
Twitter's really hard for people in bands unless, like, I don't know, you're really into like controversy. Then I think in general you need to be like good at controversy to be good at Twitter.
Yes.
It's so strange. All the different social media platforms really cater to different personality types for sure. And trying to like operate them all at once makes me feel like a schizophrenic person.
It's a good one.
And I can't do it. I can't. It's nope.
Yep.
I've tapped out. There's certain things that I'm just like, I'm never gonna be good at Twitter, and I don't want to be good at it.
No,
I don't want. I just fuck it.
That's you look when you see some of the people who are good at it. It's like, I don't
do you guys mess with the stories at all, like the Instagram stories?
I love
Facebook
those.
Live. Yeah,
I love those because it's just like Snapchat and stuff like that, where you can just go like, all right, here and like 10-second video, boom, done. Put your phone back in your pocket, enjoy whatever the hell you're doing. That like, I didn't like. I'm really surprised at like how much time I can spend on a single Instagram or Facebook post where I'll sit there and I'll like type it out or like I'm like well, like go back and revise it and like I for whatever reason some people with Twitter I like the word vomit. I think that's one of the things that makes someone good at Twitter, and what makes me suck at Twitter is that I actually stop and think about what I'm gonna put out there first.
No, you have to be very just act. Don't think. Just fucking throw things out there. The thing that I really like about the Instagram stories that or Facebook story, both the stories in general, is whenever you post something, the only way anybody's like, the only gauge that you have to see if somebody saw it or interacted with it is if they like it, right? But with the stories, it actually shows you like, seen by this many
Swiped
people.
Right
so
by.
whether they like, because I don't give a shit if somebody likes what I'm doing or not. You don't gotta thumbs it up. You don't gotta leave a comment. But I just want to know that people are seeing it. Because sometimes you put shit out there and it's like, are my posts being blocked? Do people even see this shit? But we recently started getting into like using the stories, and I'm looking. It's like, seen by 400 people. I'm like, holy shit, cool. Well, I guess we'll keep doing this so I can at least know that there's people seeing this stuff that we're putting out there. Curtis and Pat, how are you guys on social media?
I work for a web hosting company, so that's like the last thing I want to do when I'm not at work. So I'm glad that they're very proficient.
Okay,
he just got an Instagram recently,
but I'm like, I like very OCD, so it's really hard for me. Like, I think Nate is kind of like that too. And you just want to make everything so perfect. It just takes an hour and a half to make a basic post.
Yeah, it can be very, very silly.
Yeah, it's like, did I tag everyone that I needed to? It's like, you know, like.
So, but I mean, like overall, like outside of social media, and what about just like, you know, like merch and CDs? There's a CD here on the table, and like recording stuff, marketing, all that jazz. You know, how's all of that been going for you? You got something new coming out, right?
We've beefed it up quite a bit in the recent.
That's our full length that just dropped.
We beefed up our merch game in the last year or so. We basically used to have like a t-shirt, and we would most of the time like keep them in a duffel bag in the van and not even bother bringing them into the show.
Yeah.
Now I'm like, we get to the place like, all right, where we setting the merch up? Like, clear away. Like, let's make.
Have you seen like return from that? Like, is it working out for you guys? Selling shit?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it, like you said, a lot of it's not even so much about like, oh, are we? I mean, a band is a business, and you do want to make money, but at the same time, there's a value in just getting your like brand and your name or face or whatever out there. Like you were saying, it's like, as long as people are seeing it and they're aware of it, that in and of itself can be as valuable as somebody actually, you know, shelling out cash for.
Yeah, it's cool. It's like one of those things where like as a band with Grey Walker, I'm not going to get into other bands. We'll just leave it at Grey Walker. We'll keep it simple. Yeah. But it's really cool because like the band's been very self-sufficient just based off of merch and things like that. With the new album that we've done, like we didn't have to pull one penny out of our own pockets just from, you know, the past couple years just playing shows, selling merch, saving the money. And then we go out of town, we could pay for the gas. Like, you know, it's very self-sustaining and that's cool. So that's convenient because it does suck, you know, having to put your own money in the shit, but it does happen. I mean, like, you already have like your instruments and shit like that you got to worry about. So it's like, you know, on top of that, do you want to be paying for all this other shit? It sucks, but it's cool if you're able to start generating income. And it's also cool because just the fact that somebody's like, hey, I want to give you money from my pocket for like a t-shirt because I want to like wear your band's t-shirt. Like, that's cool. Like, word.
Yeah. It's all about the cleverness of the design too. Like, Grey Walker's t-shirts are pretty tight. So
thank you. The idea is to always make a shirt where if somebody doesn't even give a fuck about your band, they'd still want to wear it.
Yeah, like, that's cool.
Like cool art, you know?
Yep.
Like, and part of it too is like, okay, cool art that, you know, somebody might want to wear, or somebody that's maybe a little drunk is just going to buy. And maybe they'll regret it the next day. But
it doesn't matter.
Whatever.
No, all sales are final. Dude, that is like, you gotta hang out till the bitter end at gigs.
Oh, definitely.
The last few minutes when everyone's like, "Well, I think we pack it up." We're like, "No way." That's when you sell that last like, you know, couple of t-shirts or whatever from that drunk guy. It's like, oh man, that AC/DC song you guys played was fucking rad.
Last night I was like starting to pack up merch because everybody had gone, and then like the bartender ran over. She's like, "Hey, I want to get something." I was like, "Okay, cool." Like, glad you caught me because we were about to fucking load this shit out. But it is important to stick around. That's a message for the bands listening. Stick around.
Yeah, half the battle's just
even if the band's shit. You take the money. You need it. Just save it up, you know?
Yeah, another branding tactic we do too is we have a plethora of stickers, and anytime we go out on a Friday night, we don't have a gig or anything, just plaster stickers in whatever bathroom or whatever
we
bar.
Need to do that. I've thought about that because I see other bands with their stickers around, and I'm like, man.
You gotta be your street team, you know?
We have stickers too. We just, you know, we keep them at the merch table. If we're at a venue, I might post them up, like, you know, at the venues, but we don't just walk around. But I also don't go out. So that's another thing too.
Just paste your own apartment with stickers. Like, everyone will.
Now, outside of the band, you know, you had mentioned that you're doing web design or web development or something with computers and the internet and future jobs, right? Whatever, I don't know. What is everybody else doing outside of rocking and rolling to keep themselves afloat?
I work construction. Yeah. As you might be able to tell from my bronzed shoulders and I flip houses and that kind of shit.
Yeah. How long you been doing that?
About a year and a half or so. Actually, we just did one last summer right down the street from here.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, that's us. Driving up here, I was like, I'm pretty sure I know where the street is because I'm right around the corner from where we flipped the house last summer. But I enjoy it. The way I put it is, I hate going to work, but I like my job. You know what I mean?
Totally.
Go waking up at 6 a.m. every day and kind of.
Yeah, that could be rough, right?
Yeah, it is rough. Can be. It is. But I don't know. I like it.
Yeah, I guess it forces you to be a little bit more responsible in some things.
Uh-huh.
I don't know how well that's working for you.
Nailed it.
I mean, it at least has you thinking about it maybe a little more. That's the first step. How about you, Kyle? What are you doing outside of guitars?
I'm actually a bat biologist for an environmental consulting firm. So
what?
Yeah, you heard him.
Yeah.
The fuck is that? That sounds sweet.
So essentially, I work for a firm that helps people that are trying to develop land or whatever get all of the environmental permits that they would need, things like that. And in this area, the hardest part of getting a land permit is getting your concurrence through Fish and Wildlife Service, yada yada. There are 2 endangered bats in this area that are kind of stalling any kind of land development, and I'm one of the guys they call to go test an area for bats, and I set up nets and try to catch them and identify them.
How the fuck do you get into that? School?
Yeah, no, I went to school for biology, and I just
school
kind of
for bats.
I actually didn't go to school for bats. I fell into that role. My company kept having this issue where bats kept coming up, and it kept being a huge headache for us. So they got me a $600 rabies shot and asked me to kind of specialize in bats.
$600.
Yeah, so now I'm immune to rabies.
That's our next single right there. $600 rabies shot.
I was just at the Milwaukee Zoo, and they have a really awesome bat section.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
nice. Is it like fruit bats or all kinds of
all
stuff?
kinds of bats?
That's pretty sweet.
And they even have like a separate area for the bats that are like hurt or things like that, so like they can like heal in an area where the bats aren't going to be like crazy dominant over them and stuff.
Bat rehab.
Yeah, my girlfriend's into all that shit. She's really into it. I have a really funny story about bats I'll share with everybody.
Hell yeah.
Cool. It's from when I was a kid. So one day, I grew up in this apartment complex over in Braddock Hills called The Forest. And it's just an apartment complex like surrounded by trees. It's not really in a forest, but there's a lot of trees around. And I woke up one day as a kid and I had to go pee or whatever. And I go in the bathroom and I see something in the tub that's like brown and slimy. And I thought it was like a turd. And I was like, but I'm like half awake. And I was like, is there a turd in the tub? And I'm like looking at it. And all of a sudden like wings come out. It was a fucking bat. And I run out of the bathroom. I shut the door, wake up my mom. I'm like, Mom, there's a bat in the bathroom. She's like, what? And she goes in, she does, screams, shuts the door. So this apartment complex, there was a groundskeeper who was like this old dude with like leather skin that was like, he would always just be like mowing the lawn, taking like the one dude that took care of everything. So we had to call this dude, and he fucking comes to get this bat out of our bathroom. And he's wearing a fucking like beekeeper suit. And he has like one of those fucking like things that you clean leaves out of a swimming pool.
Okay, yeah.
And he just fucking like, like walks into the bathroom. Then you just hear all this like thumping around and all this crazy shit going on. Then he like comes out and he has the fucking bat in this thing and just fucking like leaves, not saying a word.
Never saw him again.
And that was it. And then like I remember for the longest time I was trying to figure out like how a bat got into the bathroom. I guess he maybe had our patio open or something.
Yeah.
But, yeah, that's my bat story.
That's a good bat story.
Maybe it came in through the drain.
Yeah, that's I always wonder. I was like, did it come up through the drain?
Maybe that's why it was
so.
so slimy.
Yeah, it's so weird.
It's weird.
I don't know, man. But that's a cool job.
Thanks, man.
How long you been doing that?
Probably about 7 or 8 years now.
Wow. Yeah, so you're in it.
Mm-hmm.
Super cool.
That's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
And now I'm immune to rabies, like I said. So you got any
So
raccoon or dog
$600
problems?
can get you immune to rabies forever?
Well, you have to get a booster shot every year, but
yeah.
for the most part, yes, for sure.
Okay.
And the serum they inject you with is like radioactive purple too, so you feel like you take on a superpower.
Serum?
Yep, that's what we'll refer to it as a serum.
Oh man, do you feel a little bit more fearless now, like about the rabies thing? Like, are you less afraid of like roaming dogs and other things you might encounter?
Raccoons, possums,
Raccoons,
that kind of thing. Yeah, for sure.
I don't know. I'm always worried about rabies.
Do you ever like
raccoons.
encounter some shit that like you aren't expecting to while you're trying to track down bats?
Yeah, honestly, I hate flying squirrels with a passion now at this point. They're such assholes.
Yeah. There's a whole subgroup of people on the internet that are angry at you right now for that comment.
But no, when we set up our nets, the goal is to try to catch a bat, and
And you catch
all kinds of creatures of the night, and flying squirrels normally decimate, very expensive nets and setups, and that could ruin your whole night whenever
Wow.
you have to take.
I didn't realize we had that many flying squirrels in the area.
They're actually, a lot more prevalent than you'd expect, but a lot of them are nocturnal, so they come out more at night.
That's gnarly.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Curtis, what are you doing?
It's slightly less interesting than catching creatures of the night, but I work for a construction company doing essentially a lot of project management. So design stuff, bidding, a lot of that stuff. We specialize in doing swimming pools, actually. So I've seen a guy, he doesn't wear normally, the beekeeper suit, but I've seen a guy with a pool cleaning, device. So it's really interesting. We do commercial work and we do high-end residential work.
Oh, so you've probably
you get to see some interesting homes. Yeah. I mean, you really do get to see some pretty interesting stuff. I mean, a lot of like institutional works where you're working for like, university or construction company at a university. It's all cut and dry, like you get your plans and submittals and stuff in.
So that people come to you with like ideas and then you have to like make it a reality in sense, or is there like somebody else that already does that before it gets to you?
Both, actually.
Okay.
So competitive bid work, you're just getting a set of plans and you're bidding against other people. And then you have other pools where people just come to you and some of them are pretty interesting. Like they get kind of crazy ideas.
What was
online.
like the most wild idea you've got?
Well, recently we're building a pool for a homeowner, and they got a waterfall. They're getting a waterfall built. And
where's this at?
So,
Hugh Hefner or something.
outside of Pittsburgh. We'll
Outside
just
of
go with that.
Okay.
And they were building a real natural rock waterfall, and they had a rock that weighed like 39,000 pounds moved.
Jesus.
From where?
I don't know. I guess wherever the Flintstones live. I have no idea.
What is even used to move something that heavy?
A very, very large crane, and it was cool. So I got to see some video of it. One of the guys went out, and he came back, and I was just like, when you see it in scale of like, there's like a dude on or next to that rock, and you're like, in a picture, it's just on the back of a truck. You're like, yeah, it's a big rock, But then there's a guy standing beside it, and you're like, so I mean, you like I said, I get to see some interesting stuff.
What kind of fuck do you have to be like, let's just get a fucking 40,000 pound rock, put it in the backyard, fuck it.
How
does that thing just not like fall through the ground? That seems like so much weight, right?
Yeah.
I think it's because the Earth is a much bigger rock. No matter how big of a rock you can find.
There's a lot of other rock and a lot of concrete with it.
I guess. I don't know. I can't imagine there's a vehicle that could carry that thing.
Oh, it's
like an army tank?
It was huge. It was like this crazy looking like flatbed essentially, and they had these two gigantic straps around it with some rubber mats so it didn't
How many tires
slip.
do you think that thing had?
I don't know. It had probably at least 4 axles, I was going to guess, like 3-4 axles.
Man.
Yeah, it was really cool. So you get to see some interesting stuff on the residential side of work,
So what about so bands, families, things like I'm spacing on the way I want to put this, but people in our lives that aren't in the band and people that we don't work with, significant others, families, and things like that. Do you had any of you grow up with like parents that were in bands, or do you have like family members that come out to shows? Are people cool with it, or are they like, I wish you would fucking grow the fuck up, that kind of shit? Like,
I'm pretty sure, secretly in the back of their minds, that's what my parents think. But no, my dad's a musician, and that's how I got into music. Still to this day, two of my favorite bands artists are Billy Joel and Steely Dan, because that's just like what my dad was into. And I just grew up listening to that. He played piano and a really good singer too. And he's come to a handful of shows. Him and my mom came to the show at the Rex back in a few months ago. And they seem to enjoy themselves. And it's always fun when your parents show up and like ham it up, make sure everyone knows. Oh, okay. Hey, mom and dad are here. Like, it's a rock and roll show now. But yeah, that's how I got into music, is because my dad was played piano and everything growing up, like, and my grandfather, my dad's dad, was actually in a barbershop quartet.
Nice.
When he was going, like my dad was younger. And my mom, or my grandma, his mom, played organ in their church, for their church, and sang in the choir and all that. So yeah, I've been surrounded by music my whole life, kind of in my DNA, I guess.
Awesome.
Yeah.
What about the rest of y'all, Pat? What about you?
I lost my dad when I was about 12, but.
Okay.
He was like always a guy that was like, you're never going to amount to anything in life unless you're a musician. So,
total opposite.
Okay, yeah, I wasn't expecting that to go there. Okay. I was like, whoa.
Yeah, exactly. So in about 5th grade, I quit playing the trumpet, and my mom had to hide him from the band director, an open house. But I started playing drums in high school.
So yeah, stopped playing trumpet and started playing a real instrument, right?
Well, I went from trumpet to piano, so I did play a little bit of music growing up, but mainly started playing drums in high school.
Gotcha.
My buddy that I BMX'd with, he had to pay a speeding ticket, and he was like, "Want to buy my drums?" I was like, "Yes."
The rest is.
I was already kind of good at playing drums, air drums.
Yeah.
I just knew what hand did which. So.
What about people in your life now? I mean, I understand that a lot of people don't like that you're called Pat Wasted, or you were.
They like the paddy wagon a lot better now.
Okay. Are those people, like anybody, like say like significant others or whatever? Are they cool with like being in the band, coming out to shows, shit like that?
Yeah, my girlfriend Elizabeth, very supportive. My mom's older, so she never comes out, but
Got it.
I can get my sister and my nephews out. Yeah, I mean, they live, 30 miles away, so it's not easy for them, but they'll still come out.
Yeah. Now, with, 30 miles, I know that's, a little kind of a good way of getting into playing shows outside of the city. Is that something that you guys get to do often, or you try to do, or are you just like, whatever, we'll play if we can, fuck it?
We try to get out of the city as much as possible, just because oversaturation is definitely a real thing.
I know you were just on tour recently, right?
Yeah, we were fortunate enough to go on a Midwest Northeast tour with a band called Black Pussy.
Yes.
They're pretty awesome guys, but we learned a lot of stuff, gained a lot of good connections. It was a really good time. And that actually forced us to up our merch game even more, so we're on point with merch at this point. Nate's got it down to a science. Yeah. Load, unload, t-shirt fold. He's got it. He's got a system.
I don't know. I like getting out there and putting yourself in front of people that don't see you every fucking day. You know what I mean?
Totally. Yeah.
We play gigs and you're on a first name basis with everyone in the crowd.
Totally. And then I mean, when you guys play, it's it's out there in a good way, you know what I mean? And it's like when you have a bunch of your friends, it's like, okay, you know, we get it, you know, these fucking jagoffs, right? But if you're out of town, it's like, holy fuck, are these guys for real?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we're taking a page out of Gray Walker's book too. I mean, we have our album release set for June 23rd, so we're trying to not do a lot of local shows before and after that, just to try to, like I said, prevent oversaturation, make people actually want to come to the show. So.
Yeah, I mean, the other thing too is like one thing, it's like you start playing so much that you don't even want to go to the shows. How are you going to get anybody else to come out?
Yep. Yeah, good point.
So it's important to like really keep it fun. Like as much as with Gray Walkers, like super business focused. If we're doing something, we want to do it good and have our little press kit all set up and film our videos, make everything look good. It's like, well, we're doing that because it's like fun to like try to do it right. If we're gonna take the time to do it, I want to make sure it's like good. I don't want to like waste my time on some on half-ass shit. But it's still like, well, we're not super concerned with like playing all the time.
You're gonna have somebody crowd surfing in your video, make sure they're on an inflatable eggplant, you know?
Yes.
Kind of shit.
Yes.
Whole asset. You want a whole asset, not a half asset.
Yes.
Go with the whole asset.
It's super crucial for us. So June 23rd was one that the album's coming out. Is this the new one right here?
Yeah, this is the
All right, let me look at this real quick.
So it's already out, but our official release show is the 23rd at Cativo in Lawrenceville.
Yeah,
your admission comes with a CD with the album and digital download as well. So you come to the show, you get the music to go home with.
You get a little sticker in here and a little download code.
Yeah, that's my brother did that design, and we could put that neon. In fact, got our. What did you refer to yourself as? The
art director,
the VP of the art director.
I'm the Photoshop guy too.
Yeah,
so
cool.
He's the guy.
Did most of the album. The album art, the cover art though was a guy named Josh Henderson, who's pretty awesome, and we gave him an idea.
A local?
He is a local guy. We gave him just a general idea of what we were looking for, and he knocked it out of the park. It was pretty sweet.
Cool. So this is available now online.
Yep.
Can people get it at the stonecoldkiller.bandcamp.com?
Yes, you can.
Absolutely.
Along with any kind of other SCK swag you'd like.
Oh, merchandise and stuff.
Merch, yeah.
So you're doing merch on Bandcamp.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. We've done merch on Bandcamp and then had like a big cartel page. We have a website now where we have all the merch on there, but it's all the same.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that's what we're working on too. Is we actually have the domain name, but we are
just finding someone
a
to
little more
design it.
motivation on my part would have.
I like the website thing. It's one thing I'm trying to do now with getting people off of social media, like, and then come into our like website that's like our place where everything, you know, doesn't look the same as everybody else's thing, and it's our own little environment. I'm hoping a lot more people adapt that method because I don't know. There's no like good online platform for bands to really share their shit right now. It's like such a bummer. Like Bandcamp's pretty cool, but there's just unfortunately not a lot of people that just sign up for Bandcamp pages because they want to explore underground music. You can, and that's great that feature's there, but it's just such a small population of people that are actually like doing that. So you just mostly have other people in bands. And that's important too. You know, those are
Honestly,
good people to reach out to.
When it comes to at least just the music, I usually just direct people to Spotify. I feel like that's the main way people listen to music anymore. Anyways.
But it's like
iTunes,
it's also
that
like I don't know. Just Spotify is so like cold looking. It's so just like
I
hate it. But yeah, I mean you need to have it.
Yeah,
but do
exactly.
you? But do you?
But do you? I don't know. Do you? I think
We're gonna resurrect
Probably.
our MySpace page.
Yeah, it's probably still out there somewhere. 2009.
Stone Cold Killer's been a band long enough to have a MySpace page.
Yep.
Yeah, man. Yeah, 2008. We played our first gig in April of 2008. I think we were a 3-piece. I played bass at the time.
Yeah, I was gonna ask like how has the lineup changed? in the past 10 years?
I've played every instrument besides drums in this band.
Okay.
And been the lead singer the whole time. But the original lineup was just we were a 3-piece. I played bass, Kyle played guitar, and our friend, another friend from Punxsutawney, played drums. And then after he graduated
Pharmacy
school, he moved back to Punxsutawney, and so we got another drummer, Party Pete Vasinski, who he was our drummer for better part of the decade. I mean, about a year and a half or so. You've been
A little over a year, I think.
Yeah, so up until then, pretty much that whole time Pete was our drummer, and then Kyle moved to Nashville at one point, and that's when Curtis came in, and then Kyle rejoined, a couple years back after we did a Guns N' Roses tribute set for Halloween a couple of years ago, and I was playing rhythm guitar and singing at the time, and I'm like, I'm not gonna. It's hard enough to do either one of those things for Guns N' Roses.
Totally.
So I'm like, I'm not gonna be able to play and sing them, but I know Kyle, is a / disciple. He already knows all the shit.
He's my boy.
Oh yeah. It's like, well, let's just have him play with us, and I'll just sing. And then I got a taste for it. I was like, I like this. I get to move around a lot more, and it helps to act like the actual act of singing when you're not having to play an instrument. The way I'm able to contort myself and have better control over my my whole vocal range when I'm not having to stand in one spot and with a mic stand. I'm actually able to and
concentrate on so much other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It definitely influenced the sound direction of the band too, because Nate is an amazing guitar player, but he will never claim to be a solo or a lead guy. And when Nate was able to, focus on being a kick-ass lead singer, now we have 2 leads.
Yeah,
so we do a lot of Thin Lizzy type full guitar harmony stuff these days, and it's pretty awesome.
That's rad. Do you still get to play guitar at all?
Oh, just in my free time,
fucking around, yeah.
But I don't
do you
know.
In terms of writing songs, do you write any guitar stuff still? Come up with ideas and bring it to the table?
Yeah.
I
That's
think last
usually,
week you texted
Yeah,
us.
I was gonna
a new
say,
riff.
every once in a while, I'll just pick up and get. I don't know.
I mean, that has to be a really cool advantage to be I'm the lead singer and I have this melody in mind and I know they can come up with the perfect guitar thing for it. So here, check this out, and then trick it out and get nuts.
Yeah,
with it.
that's
Here's the skeleton.
That's exactly I'll just have a basic riff or something, and then I'll bring it to these guys, and they'll make it kick ass, and and then we'll work on it, and then you throw harmony on there or whatever, and it's just all comes together in that way. It's not like one person just all right, I have this complete song, play it note for note.
That's such a bummer. Yeah.
That has happened though. I'm not going to say that.
I mean, it does happen every once in a while. I mean, sometimes if you write a song and it's good,
I don't have the attention span to finish a song. I have the ideas, and I'm like, here, guys, and then we take it, run with it, and maybe jam on a riff or whatever. But do you play any instruments?
Not really. I mean, I mess with this stuff. I do all my beats and all that stuff, but I don't play guitar or anything like that.
But still, you're making something out of nothing, creating.
Yes.
And so you the feeling of I need my instrument or whatever. There's just times where I need a guitar in my hands right now. I can't explain it, but I have this something is going to happen. You put a guitar in my hand, and then a riff comes out, and it just
that's it. Yeah, I have those days when I'm at work, and it's just I don't know exactly what it is, but it's just I just feel if I go home, I could probably make a really good beat right now.
Yeah, exactly.
get down. I don't have any like particular idea in mind. It's just like the energy's there.
Exactly. You
like
can't force
focus.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It just happens. And that's to me one of the coolest things about music is just picking something out of thin air. Wasn't there before, and it just you just had this impulse to make it. You know, that's one of the things I like most about it.
Yeah, I really, really like just those moments. I hate whenever I have to like slave over an idea. It's like, you know, you need to just accept like this ain't gonna happen. You know, like this song isn't gonna work. It's just like I'm sitting there like like hours, like, you know, just trying to make something happen. It's not gonna happen. It's like I feel like the best songs are the ones that just
the ones that took you however long the song is, that's how long it took you to write it. Like,
basically.
The ones that happen organically for sure.
Yeah, I mean, like it's like obviously there's always like you kind of have like parts, and then you got to figure out what the structure of it's gonna be, and some things get swapped around. But usually, if it's like too difficult, it's like really easy for me to just like be like, abandon it, fuck it. You know what I mean? Like with Grey Walker, we had so much stuff that we were just like, ain't happening. You know, like easily like 7 or 8 songs. We're like,
really?
Nope, ain't gonna. Like they're close, but it's just not there.
Yeah, like you know, can't force it.
But it's part of the process, though. I can't imagine like. Can you imagine like every single thing that you do, you release? Like every idea you come up with, you.
That's for the box set in like 30 years, where you have all of them, and then they all come out then, right?
B-sides.
I always feel like really, really bad about like the artists that have passed and like all of their stuff that they probably never wanted anybody to hear is just getting released for profit now. It's like it's so like I don't think anybody wanted us to hear these things. Like it's not what they intended.
Yeah, if they wanted us to hear it, they would have released it.
Yeah,
you know, back when they were alive. And I mean, that's not like happening with Prince, like at the moment.
Yeah,
he's his sister is
I'm not sure
in charge of his estate or whatever, and he has like something like 1,000 unreleased songs that they're going to put out over the next however many years. I could be totally wrong there, but I'm pretty sure that's
I did definitely hear something about Prince and having a large catalog of unreleased music that people were planning on releasing, and it's kind of like
I'm sure Prince would be super stoked about that. Yeah, that's definitely what he wanted.
Yeah. He wasn't like, and he wasn't a perfectionist by any means. He is just release anything.
Yeah.
It's like Jimi Hendrix still releasing albums. Like, how long's that guy been dead for? And like, how are you still releasing any of that stuff?
Maybe he's not.
Where is that buried at?
Maybe he's on an island with Tupac and Elvis.
You gotta wonder too. Like, you have a lot of that stuff. This is just speculation. Like, you have guitar players and like it's like all this like unreleased instrumental material. Like, is it really? Or is it just like somebody that's really good at emulating that style?
Yeah.
Just like all these like LA dudes just releasing stuff. And it's like whoever owns Jimi Hendrix's estate, it's like, hey, do you care if we do this? Or maybe they don't know. And it's just like, oh, hey, by the way, we found these tapes. And they're like, yeah, sounds about right. Okay, cool.
We'll sell them
Release them.
We'll sell them to you.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't like to think the world's like that, but it probably is.
It probably is.
Scary times we're living in. Scary times.
But
that's it. No.
See you next week.
Yeah. So, wrapping up here shortly. We're getting close. The June 23rd is the show.
Yeah.
Cativo. Who else is playing on that bill?
Some Kind of Animal and Horace Mays.
Okay.
Yeah, it's gonna be a rock and roll show.
Nice.
Good time.
Yeah, the lead singer / keyboard player from Some Kind of Animal was actually a guest artist on our album. He played keys on a song. So
that's fun.
Yeah, we're gonna bring him up for the song whenever we play it.
Yeah. How'd you get linked up with them?
Nate's known Tony, the keyboard player, singer, for a long time, and we had this song written, and it has a very Black Crowsy vibe to it, and we're like, this could actually use some keys. This would be cool. Tony and Nate's like, hey, I know a guy, so took the song to him. He worked it out in no time at all. Right?
That's always the best. I love like one of the things I think of being like the benefits of being like 10 years deep in the scene, even like longer, is like all these people now. Whenever you have an idea, most of the time it's not that unfeasible to just figure it out. It's always like, I know a guy.
Yep.
Yeah.
That was like us with the hot sauce. We were just joking around about like, we'd be fucking cool to make a hot sauce. Bands do that. And Evan's like, I know a guy. He went to high school with the dude that owns Allegheny City Farms. So it was just like, okay, cool.
That was a fun show with you guys, too.
That was a blast. Yeah. That was a blast. Wasn't that originally supposed to be your CD release show?
That was our EP release
or EP
show.
release show or something?
It was,
there was something.
Yeah, remember.
I think
I think that was a year ago, like 2 weeks ago.
Last week.
Yeah.
I think it was last week.
A year ago.
Yeah.
Colt
I knew that was like supposed to be like a release show for you guys. I couldn't remember.
Yeah. We just kept pushing it back, procrastinating the hell out of it. It's what we do best. But
here we are a year later. You got a full length on the table.
Yeah.
Did you was this self-produced? Where'd you record it? How'd that all come about?
Yeah, it was. We recorded it in Rabbit Hole Studios.
Okay.
With it's basically just a guy.
Eric Polgino.
Eric Polgino is his name, and I met him from the way I met him. I was building a retaining wall at his house, and just started shooting shit with him one day, and we're talking about music, and then a few months later ran into him at the gym, and he was like, "Oh, you still playing?" I'm like, "Yeah, man." He's like, "Well, hey, I got a little recording set up in my basement. If you guys ever want to come over, lay down some tracks." I'm like, "Do I? Hell yeah!" So we originally did 6 tracks with him. Those were with our old drummer Pete, and then we went back and added four more to make it a full length. A few months later, so that was one of the reasons that everything just kept getting pushed back. It's like, if you want to do something, do it right.
Totally, yeah.
Might as well go all out. That's what I've always wanted to have, like a full length album. Like, even if no one ever listens to it, like, look at this. Look at what I did.
Yeah, and then we had our friend John Miller, who actually recorded and mastered our previous EP that was the release show with you guys. He mastered that guy for us and did an amazing job at Ice House Recording. Yeah.
I mean, I played drums on 4 of those tracks, and I don't think you can tell the difference.
Yeah,
they recorded with a different drummer at a different time.
I was gonna say, like, the only reason, like, I could tell the difference just because I know, but otherwise, they sound fantastic, which is crazy, especially for drums, because, I mean, just 2 different takes can sound completely different. Some, just because there's so many microphones in the room that you're in, and this and that.
Different sized drums, different placements. Different feels. One drummer might hit harder than the other.
Size of kits.
Yeah. Oh. Well, I'm stoked for you guys. It was awesome to sit down and talk with you all.
Say you're psyched.
Yeah. 24/7, motherfucker. We gotta set something up again soon. Maybe in the winter or something like that. That'd be fucking awesome. Maybe like a Halloween show or something. I don't fucking know.
Now we're talking. Yeah,
that'd be fun.
All right,
we got to figure that out. Anything else we want to drop before we stop the conversation? Stone Cold Killer, social medias.
Yeah,
talk to Nate on Twitter.
SCK Pittsburgh.
Instagram.
SCK Pittsburgh. Instagram, Twitter. is at SCK Pittsburgh. We're YouTube, like I said, Spotify, Bandcamp, pretty
iTunes.
much. All the platforms.
Amazon Music, Google Play.
Just type Stone Cold Killer into your internet search bar of preference.
Singular, just one.
Just
Yes.
one. There
Just
can be
one.
only one.
There can only be one.
Much like
Oh, not Stone Cold Killers.
No.
Yeah, you get that a lot?
Oh, we get that a lot.
Constantly.
Yeah.
It's the biggest pet peeve.
And there's
Like on flyers and shit. that they show up.
People like it happens all the time. Like
There's
You send
actually-
a bio. How does that happen? You send a bio with your name spelled out, and you're like, "Oh, you're killers."
Yeah,
Okay, I
there's a
guess we're
Stone
killers
Cold
on it.
Killers on Facebook from like the UK or something, and
Like they get tagged.
You'll
on
get
events and
tagged.
shit.
it's a totally different band. Like,
Yeah.
like,
so when
we
somebody
just
like,
played a show with you last month. How did
Yeah.
you mess this up?
so like it'll make the the name will be a link, so you click on it and it goes to an entirely different band from England.
So many people spell Sikes Sykes. It's my huge pet peeve. I've gotten like Sykez. I'm like, what? I'm like, how lame do you think I fucking am? Like I already know I'm like off on a bad foot to begin with here, but like, give me a break.
Z.
Come on now, Sykez. Christ.
Touring with Twisteds.
Yeah, that does sound like some psychopathic shit. Whoop whoop. Wicked clowns. Anyways, is that it?
Thanks for having us, Brian.
Yeah,
Appreciate
thank you very much.
Awesome. This was tight. I'll be back again. That's sweet. Outro starts like this. And that's all, folks. Thanks so much for listening. Hope you enjoyed the conversation. One more time, Pat, Curtis, Kyle, Nate, Stone Cold Killer, and to our missing compadre who is not here. It was I hope you're having a good day. I'll be back again next week with another episode. Same time, same place, same channel. You know the drill. My name is Sikes. Start the Beat 2018. Wicked Clowns. Whoop, whoop. Thanks for listening.
Oh, hell yeah.